So jumping right into the video, this is my braid down. I'm going to take my wig cap and pull it over my head super tight. I like to make sure there's no fabric sticking up at the top because it makes it easier to lay the tracks later. And then I'm going to cut out my ear holes here and then take this Morning Glory is the name of it, protectant for the cap and a brush. I'm going to apply it all over. It's okay if you use your hands. It washes off. Honestly, I know I'm making a mess right here, but I like to use my hands as well sometimes just to make sure I get it really thoroughly on my hairs to make sure that, you know, no glue seeps through. It's okay if this stuff gets on your hair. You want it on your hair so that the glue doesn't get on your hair. So I do my base in layers. The first layer is the protective shield like you saw, and then I come back and blow dry it. The next layer, I either use the Got2b free spray or the Eben spray. It really doesn't matter which one you do first. I do it interchangeably. But next I'll saturate my entire head with a spray like this. This is what's gonna make your base hard. And then after doing that, I'll blow dry it again. And then I'm going back in with my third layer, which this time is going to be the Eben spray, and then I'm going to go and blow dry that. Now I'm going in and cutting off all the extra cap. This is a good indicator is if you laid your base good enough or not, is if you're able to just easily cut off your cap and then you should just have the molding left over. If you're trying to cut off your cap and things are sliding or it seems like it's not sticking to your head, then you probably need to either apply more of the protectant or blow dry it more. It's probably not dry all the way. But this is what it should look like. Your base should be hard to make sure no glue can get through. If it's soft, do it again. So for this quick weave, I picked up this hair from my beauty supply store. It is 3 bundles of the 18, 20, and 22 inch body wave. The brand is Organique. I don't have a link or anything because like I said, I got it from the store, but definitely check your local store to see if they have it or see if they have a website. I had this hair in for about a week and it says tangle free, but of course it's synthetic hair, so you will get tangles. I did have to constantly brush it to keep it looking neat, just FYI, but it definitely did look cute at first. Them first 3 days was on point, but after that there is some maintenance, and this is all the hair that came in the weft. They give you a pretty good amount. So now I'm going to show you step by step on how I install my bundles. The first thing I do is I measure the track from side to side to make sure it fits, obviously. Then I gotta cut it. Then I like to put it back there again just to make sure I didn't like cut too short or something or anything like that. Make sure it fits. Then I'll go and put on the glue. I use the 30-second glue, which means you're supposed to let it dry for 30 seconds, but I'm impatient, so I don't let it dry for the full 30 seconds. But I do like give it a little blow dry, a little real quick, you know, and then flip it back there. It works just fine. Don't worry about all that. And now, so the key is for doing your own hair is you have to hold it like this and flip it backwards, because I know no one can see the back of their head. You have to use your fingers to feel where you want the track to go and then lay it. I say before placing it down all the way, make sure you like its positioning. And this is where I think I almost got to like a whole bundle right here. This is like where one bundle got me. Like I said, these are some pretty thick bundles. Mind you, I didn't get a super long length. I got like up to 22 inches. So usually shorter length bundles are thicker, but you get a good amount of hair. My style was full. Now, why nobody told me that the brand is pronounced organic and not organique? I'm over here talking about some organique, and y'all done listened to me embarrass myself just a few seconds ago, and I'm gonna leave it in there too. I'm not gonna cut it out. But anyways, the brand is called Organic, not Organique. The QUE threw me off. But anyways, so this is how much. I think this is one bundle. Yeah, one bundle got me. It got me almost half my head, honestly. These bundles, like I said, are thick. Now I'm moving on to the second bundle. Honestly, I was worried at first if I was going to be able to fit all of these bundles in my head, but I made sure to lay these tracks extra close. So like I said, even though you can't see the back of your head, you can feel the back of your head. So if you know you have a lot of hair that you want to get in there and you can't see, just make sure you're basically laying the tracks one on top of each other. I do like to start applying my tracks facing forward, because I feel like if I can see the edge, then I can kind of just walk the track around the back of my head like you see here, and I'm using my fingers to make sure it's close to the previous track and to make sure that it's not crooked or anything like that. And so as you get closer to the top of your head, you need to start putting your tracks in like this U shape, because this is a flip over quick weave, and I'm going to show you why in a second. So I am just constantly putting the hair in a U shape, one, because it affects how the hair falls in your face. It allows it to fall more towards your face and it looks fuller as opposed to just putting it straight across. All right, y'all, so we are on the last lap. Bundle number 3, we are almost done. Look how full this is, y'all. This is 2 full bundles. I didn't even get all of the 3rd bundle in the top, clearly, but I did get a quite little bit of it. So I'm just going to continue the same thing over and over again until I start to close the gap, putting the track in the U shape until it reaches the front of the cap like this. Once it gets to be about like an inch apart, like what you see right here, is when I start putting the tracks horizontally to kind of go in and close that gap. Now, I do want to say that right here I messed up a little bit. I was trying to get the hair to fall in my face a little bit, because I just didn't want it all going back. So I started laying a couple of the tracks going forward like this, and it was cool for like the first couple of tracks, but then I realized, like, I think I did like too many. Like as you see here, I put another one down, and then when I tried to put the other one backwards like this, it looked a little crazy, and then saw myself trying to make this U shape, and I was like, oh no, this is not gonna work. So I left this in here to show you don't do this, and also I'm not a professional. I did what I could. So I came back, I removed the track, and I just started flipping them backwards all the way. So as you can see right here, I took off that first little track and I flipped it backwards, and I just did it like this. I did what I was used to. I was trying something new or something I had seen before in another video, but I need to go back and research that technique, and I didn't really know it well enough, nor did I feel like researching in the moment. So I just went with what I knew, and this works out just fine as well. Now I'm just taking my heat protectant spray from Design Essentials. And sorry I am making that crazy face, but I do not want to spray myself in the eyes with this stuff. But I'm making sure to really saturate my leave out really well so that I can flat iron it so it can blend with this hair. I'm just taking my flat iron in small sections and doing what I can to make my natural hair straight. Now I'm just going to take a wide tooth comb and I'm untangling the hair. I know it says tangle free, but as you can see, that is not the truth. And especially with me installing the hair, I have to straighten out the fibers. Like, it's not real hair, but all you have to do is just take like a wide tooth comb. And then I also took a brush and just to smooth it out. Now I will warn you, you will have to do this during the duration that you have this hair, whether it's looking nice and silky and smooth like it is now, or whether it starts to look a little crunchy in the future. You will have to keep a brush on you. So if you are not a high maintenance gal, this may not be the hair for you. Now I'm taking just a little bit of edge control and styling my edges. You can absolutely brush your hair, or just use the edge control and push your edges straight back if you want to. I just like to swoop my edges because I feel like it adds a little extra razzle dazzle. So speaking of razzle dazzle, I definitely recommend cutting this hair and cutting layers. You can't see it here, but I did a little bit of a blunt cut on the ends, and then I'm just taking my shears and just cutting some face framing layers. Since the hair is already wavy, I want to cut these layers so that the hair can fall how I want it to fall, especially when I flip the hair from side to side, since it is a flip over. The shorter the layers, the more layers you add, actually, the better the hair looks. So this is the final product, and I actually wound up really loving this hair, and here's why. First of all, the price. It's super affordable. 3 bundles for $30, like $10 a bundle. I love that the waves lasted the whole entire time. I was worried that the waves would drop, or me brushing through it a lot would brush out the curls, and it didn't. And I also loved that it was full and thick. I got the look I was going for. Some of the cons is, yes, you'll have to keep a brush on you and keep brushing the hair and combing through it because the ends do get tangly. This is not something that you can keep in for months at a time. I would give this like 2 weeks max. I took it out after 1 week. Simply because I was tired of the maintenance and combing through it, and I wanted it to look fresh. I do want to put a disclaimer that I did not, I repeat, NOT sleep in a bonnet the entire time I had this hair. I put it up in a ponytail and went to bed. So if you want to get some longevity, try sleeping with a bonnet. You'll probably get a better results than I did. But definitely check out this hair at your local beauty supply store. And thanks for watching this video. Adios till next time.